She called it junk. I called it a tribute to heroes. But when Karen smashed my Army Parade Jeep with a crowbar, the whole neighborhood finally saw her for what she really was. She called it junk. I called it a tribute to heroes. But when Karen smashed my Army Parade Jeep with a crowbar, the whole neighborhood finally saw her for what she really was. When Karen smashed my Army Parade Jeep, her face went viral. The sound of shattering glass woke me at dawn, a sickening crash that still echoes in my nightmares. I'm Lucas, a retired Army sergeant, now a history buff restoring vintage military vehicles. My 1943 Willys Jeep, set to star in our town's Memorial Day parade, was my heart's work, until Karen, the HOA's unhinged overlord, turned it into her punching bag. This is the story of her viral meltdown, her downfall, and how justice rolled over her like a convoy. I moved to Maple Grove, a sleepy suburb with picket fences and nosy neighbors.
Neighbors to find peace after 20 years of service. My garage was my haven, filled with the tang of oil and the hum of history. The Jeep, olive drab with crisp white stars, was a labor of love, restored for parades honoring veterans. Neighbors adored it. Kids posed for photos and seniors shared stories of wartime rides. But Karen, the HOA's self-crowned dictator, saw it as a rusty relic defiling her flawless neighborhood. Karen wielded her HOA handbook like a weapon, terrorizing Maple Grove with fines for crooked shutters or tacky lawn ornaments. My Jeep, parked legally in my driveway with parade permits displayed, became her fixation. She slapped fluorescent violation notices on my windshield, each one shriller than the last. "Remove this scrap heap or you're ruining our community," I'd respond calmly, explaining
Jeep's historical significance and my right to keep it, she'd sneer. Rules are rules, Lucas. I sensed her obsession growing, but I underestimated how far she'd go. The conflict brewed like a summer storm. Karen's notices escalated to daily doorstep tirades. "This isn't a war zone," she'd yell, her voice rattling my windows. I'd point out the Jeep's role in honoring veterans, but she'd cut me off, ranting about property values. Some neighbors rallied behind me. Others parroted Karen's dogma. Then the vandalism started. One morning, I found my Jeep's canvas top slashed, the seat soaked from an overnight rain. Another time, someone had scratched, "Move it into the hood." My security camera caught Karen circling my driveway at 2 a.m., but the footage was too blurry for proof. I reported it to the HOA board, her loyal puppets,
dismissed me saying I was overreacting. My jaw clenched, but I stayed patient, waiting for her to overplay her hand. The eruption came on a crisp Sunday, 2 weeks before the parade. I was polishing the Jeep's chrome when a deafening smash jolted me. I ran outside to a war zone. Karen, wild-eyed, stood over my Jeep with a crowbar. The windshield a spiderweb of cracks, the hood was caved in, tires flattened, and junk blazed in red spray paint across the side. A crowd of neighbors gawked, phones out as she swung again, denting the fender. "I'm done with this trash," she shrieked, oblivious to the Memorial Day flags lining the street. My blood boiled, but discipline held me back. "Karen," I said, voice like steel, "you just destroyed a veteran's tribute." She laughed, tossing the crowbar onto my lawn. "Good luck proving it," she taunted, ignoring the cameras rolling. The crowd's shock turned to fury. Mrs. Alvarez, a teacher whose dad served in Korea, shouted, "You're a disgrace." Kids booed, chanting, "Karen's crazy." I stood firm. Unraveling, she ranted about and threatened to have the Jeep towed. But Mr. Hayes, a retired cop, stepped forward, phone in hand. "We've got you on video," he said sharply. Karen's bravado cracked, but she doubled down, storming off with a vow to sue for harassment. The neighborhood had had enough. That evening, residents packed the HOA's emergency meeting, armed with footage, photos, and years of Karen's bullying. I laid out my case: repair costs, $10,000 and rising, parade permits, and a police report for felony vandalism. The board, faced with a revolt and viral clips spreading online, couldn't hide his justice, hit like a precision strike. By morning, Karen was dethroned, expelled as HOA president, banned from the board, and slapped with criminal charges. The HOA's public letter pinned to every mailbox detailed her abuses, vandalism, power tripping, and targeting veterans. They voided my fines, approved the Jeep's parking, and offered to fund its repairs as penance. Neighbors rallied, bringing coffee and helping me scrub off the paint. The Jeep, scarred but proud, became Maple Grove's rallying cry online. Karen's crowbar-swinging face went viral, dubbed Jeep Karen by bloggers. Her realty business collapsed, clients fleeing her toxic reputation. Her family, mortified, left town. I saw her last week loading a moving truck, her HOA handbook nowhere in sight. I didn't speak. Her defeat said it all. The Jeep's
back in shape, ready for the parade. Its battle scars, a testament to resilience. I'm back in my garage, tools in hand, honoring history one bolt at a time. Maple Grove feels alive again. Neighbors chat freely, and the new HOA president, Mrs. Alvarez, leads with heart. Karen's crowbar was her undoing, but our unity was the real weapon. Bullies thrive in silence, but when a community roars, they crumble. Karen thought her rules made her powerful, but it was our unity that wrote the final chapter. She broke a Jeep, but we broke her tyranny. And come Memorial Day, that Jeep's not just rolling, it's roaring for every vet she disrespected.